how to ship products from China to Amazon FBA during the Corona pandemic. This is the topic of today's video. And today I'm joined by Amit Rosenthal. Amit is the CEO of Rosenthal Logistics, which is a freight forwarding company that specializes in shipments from China to Amazon all over the world. And in this video, I want to help you in this current situation to make your shipments better, to understand your logistics better, so your business is going to thrive and hopefully it's going to be good for you. So Amit, man, nice to have you here. And please introduce yourself to us. Yeah, man. Shoot.
Yeah, Vova, first of all, it's a pleasure. You know, we've been discussing a long time ago. So it's a pleasure to be on your videos and on your channel. My name is Amit from Rosenthal Company. We are handling freight forwarding and logistics since 1937. We are family firm logistics, and we are specialized specific in Amazon for Amazon sellers and e-commerce since 2016. Ever since we established a company only direct for shipments for Amazon and for e-commerce, and we are trying to handle all the situation now during the pandemic, and this is the video for now.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming, first of all. As you mentioned, we've been in contact for a while, and I'm really happy that we now have a chance to record a video together to share some, value with, hopefully with my subscribers and with YouTube and, wherever we can share this video. And I'm going to tell you, man, yes, that as I understood, so your family, this is a family-owned business, man. It's crazy. Your business started in the late 30s, which makes it even older than the Second World War, for example, which is mind-blowing, man. I mean, and I can see it on your website as well, for those who will also browse there. It's pretty crazy, man. And as you mentioned, you handle, shipments essentially to Amazon since 16. You took this kind of road of going this way with Amazon because it's pretty strong, I guess, with a strong route that needs logistics. Yes, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And the situation in the world is pretty weird now. Yes, as probably most of you watching understand, and most of you are Amazon sellers or going to be Amazon sellers. So I have a set of questions that I prepared for you, Amit, man. Some from me, some from our friends from the group.
Right.
So let's start, man. Let's see how we can improve the lives of our subscribers, man, and people watching. So let's start. First question, man. What actually changed from when all this crazy pandemic started to right now? Like, I mean, from before this pandemic to after it being live, so to say.
So a great question here. It's a lot to cover, let's say, in one short movie, but we'll start to try it. Main issue is that the whole pandemic and the corona started, I think, around mid or end of January, exactly when the Chinese need to go to the annual vacation. Up until then, everything was quite okay. There was the pressure before the annual vacation, but nothing more. But since the pandemic started in China, so everybody started thinking, this is just a joke, specific for China. It's not going to have any effect worldwide. But I think everybody get the slap to the face in this case.
Yeah, man.
I think everybody has got affected by the virus, if it's business-wise, personal-wise, health-wise, and so on. But if we're talking about logistics and about Amazon specific, so the main thing happened that on February, the Chinese factories should resume to work. But because of the virus, they started coming back to the factories around start of March to mid-March. And there was a gap of 1 month of delay of production. So a lot of sellers which had product or believe they want to have product ready to ship in mid-February, understand eventually that they have the products in mid-March or even start of April. So this is one thing that happened and had a huge effect on the sellers. Second effect is that sea freight is quite normal, but air freight, because all the borders worldwide of all the countries closed, so there is no commercial flight between countries now. And maybe 70 to 80% of the cargo moving by air worldwide is going by commercial air. So now when there is no commercial air, all the goods that needed to go by commercial air going now by UPS, DHL, FedEx, and so on, and the pressure and the capacity in the aircraft are very, very slim, so the rate increased dramatically, maybe 2 times what they've been all the time.
Oh, wow.
So this is a huge effect. The air freight increased super, super dramatically, and the transit time now is longer than what we accustomed to until the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Third thing that happened, it's all the Amazon regulation.
Yes, regulations. So to
all,
say.
all Amazon regulations with the ability to open shipping plan, on the inability to open shipping plan, and then Amazon advised that you cannot ship cargo if you are Amazon Prime. So you will not receive the goods in 2 days. You can receive the goods maybe in a month or so.
Yeah.
For non-essential products. So this had also huge blow and huge effect on the sellers directly.
Yeah,
so
sure,
I think the pandemic had a huge cover and affected everybody. Doesn't matter if you are a direct sellers or if you are a provider for Amazon sellers. Everybody had the effect because of the pandemic. And I think now, especially these days, Amazon sellers should reorganizing and optimize their shipping plan and all the logistics, because what we used to have, it's not valid anymore. So we need to take other actions and think differently than what we used to.
Yeah, man, thank you for the insight. So just to sum up a few things, as you've probably understood, many things changed after this thing started in early January or end of January. You know, in the beginning was a little bit of like, you know, one person here, one there. In China, it got a bit bigger, and then boom, like people everybody has kind of thing, and then everybody's affected, so to say. Like, you know, Amazon sellers, the logistics companies, everything. And as you mentioned, the sea shipments are kind of the same as you mentioned, but you mentioned that air shipments kind of changed. Could you add some information about the air shipments? Like maybe what problems can we expect with air shipments now? What delays? What can we expect? What really changed? Maybe you can give a bit more nitty-gritty details about the specifically air shipments. Maybe if you have some input.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So maybe we will start. We'll go a little bit. We'll
backward,
start with, backward. We'll start with what we had until the pandemic. So
exactly, yeah.
So there was 2 main service for air freight. One called regular air, which the transit time usually being around 10 to 14 days from departure. And we had the express method, which usually is around 2 to 4 days from departure until it arrived to Amazon FBA, Mm-hmm. The regular air, so-called, used to move by aircraft for commercial air, Meaning you now fly from Shenzhen to Los Angeles, So there is the person on board and there is the cargo on board, The cargo always sits down from the persons, On the body of the plane. So now, because there is no flight, so there is no cargo going by commercial air,
Yeah.
As we discussed earlier, about 80% of all the cargo going by air worldwide going by commercial air. So you now need to take the 80% of the cargo and split it only to express shipment, Express shipment handled only by a company like DHL, like FedEx, like UPS. There is, of course, other companies less known like these 3. But in general, cargo with this company going by freighter, Freighter is a plane specific for cargo, DHL, just for the knowledge, DHL just announced yesterday, today we are the 20th of April. So
yeah, 420, man.
Yeah.
Happy 420.
Yeah, all right. Happy 420. So DHL announced yesterday that they will not pick up any goods until this Wednesday, which will gonna be the 22nd. FedEx and UPS now declare they will not accept cargo in 1 BL more than 50 kilo. So what is happening now that if you have cargo of, 1 ton, so the airline will split the cargo for number of BL, BL is, you know what is BL? Bill of lading, Bill of lading.
Oh, bill of lading, yes, of course.
Yeah, so in this case, what's happening because of that, there is a huge increase of the rate, for the air freight. I can tell in general, and this is for today, the rate before the pandemic was for air express, for air regular was around $4 per kilo.
Yeah.
And for air express was around $5.5 per kilo. Now the air freight is around $10 to $11 per kilo. So it's increased by double. Okay.
Yeah.
Double increase. This is one.
Oh my God.
And second issue is that there is delays of the goods going out from China. Meaning, if we custom to pick up the cargo tomorrow and a day after the goods departure from China, today we can pick up the goods tomorrow and it can be departure from China 4 days from now, 5 days from now, 6 days from now. So there is a huge delays with the cargo going out of China, but the service, in general, the service once the cargo departure from China, the service quite the same. So meaning it's going to the final destination around 3, 4, 5 days with delays of the carrier. But in general, once the cargo going up from China, the service is quite normal as we custom to.
I see, man. So that means generally, to sum this part up, is that for various reasons, the prices have spiked about 2 times than it used to be. And sometimes there are delays in China itself, because I guess there are tons of, I think I saw some pictures recently on Facebook.
I can share you a picture of what is going on now in China with this. It's amazing.
It's just, as far as I see, it's like piles of these boxes, you know, with products are stuck there. And I've also heard that specific products are getting checked more, maybe the masks and all
the
this.
mask. But the mask, listen, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, if you had mask in the US, in Israel, it doesn't matter where, you can sell it with profit of, I don't know, 5,000%.
Yes.
But it's not going now this way, and Chinese government doing a lot of problem of release the goods from customs in China. So there is a problem now. I will not recommend for anybody, if you want to make the jackpot, don't enter the mask anymore, because I think it's over.
I see what you're saying. Like, there was this in the beginning for those who kind of caught up this trend. Now it's like the spinner in 2017 kind of thing.
Kind of
similar.
Thing. Yes. It's similar.
I see, man. Yeah, thank you for the input. So again, for those who are shipping air, but the good thing that you mentioned, man, that we spoke even before, that once the cargo is on air, then it's normal. Like you know, it's for you say 5 days, it's about 5 days. Yes.
Exactly.
And what about maybe the customs in the United States? Anything changed there? Do you see any changes, or not really?
There is no really any change with the U.S. customs. Goods release quite normally. There is a slight delays because there is now, because of all the situation there is less truckers, and the ports may be working not full time, like 90%, because there is less workers and so on. Less manpower, sorry. So there is slight delays with the final delivery, but regarding custom specific, there is no issue whatsoever.
No issue. I see, man. Yeah, thank you for the input. Do you think you have? I also wanted to ask you about kind of FBM. Like, people are switching some people to FBM. Like, luckily for my products, Amazon allowed me like opening shipments pretty fast. Like, there was the first wave. I think it was like, what, a month ago? I don't remember already with all the news happening, but when they closed the shipments.
25 of March, I think it was on 25.
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks ago, right? And then I had my products, I think all of them closed except one for FBA shipments. And then there was a first wave of like opening again the shipments, and then everything got opened for me, luckily. I wish this for everybody watching, yes. But for those who still haven't, they have FBM, yes, option. How do you, as forwarder, what do you do with the FBM? Like, how it works? You take the product obviously from China to a warehouse, yes?
Do you have any inputs on that? Mm-hmm. First of all, we ship not just from China, of course, mainly from China, but there is a lot of goods also coming from India, from the Philippines, from Indonesia, and so on. Regarding FBM, so in general, I think there is other sell options, meaning I think it's a good opportunity for everybody who can manage the FBM, because there is a lot of things to do which take cover by the FBA, by Amazon directly, okay? But if you decided to go FBM, so I think it's another, איך אומרים, כאילו, ערוץ מכירה?
Like a channel of sales, another channel of sales.
It's another channel of sales. So it's, I think in general, I think it's a good idea to try to do FBM. For us as a freight forwarder, there is no really, it doesn't really matter if you ship to FBA center or if you ship to FBM, as long as the goods are valid to ship, so there is no problem for us. There is a lot of customers that I send to FBM center, which I'm working with as a subcontractors now in Dallas, in New York area, and in Los Angeles. So if one of your subscribers or one of your followers looking for FBM center, so we can definitely recommend and assist in this case as well.
I see, man. I understand. So essentially, yeah, you're right. It's another channel of sales. And I would say that for those who didn't have their FBA offers open, but they are still, for example, you're somebody who's watching, maybe you're selling well right now. You see that their sales are going crazy, but you can't open FBA shipment. Try to find FBM ship. I don't so say not to find FBM shipment. Consider switching to FBM. FBM means that for those maybe who don't understand what is FBM, what is this BFM? So FBM means that fulfilled by merchant. That means usually we send products to Amazon itself. They fulfill the orders and send this to our customers. With FBM, we put our goods in a warehouse, and usually these warehouses know the job. Yes, they know.
They are linked to the seller account usually.
Exactly. Yes, they're linked. That means once you get a sale, they get like maybe not this specific sound, something like this, but and then essentially they take care of sending the product. They see that they got notification, you got sold your garlic press. Okay, let's send it to Florida to street 12345. Okay, and they do this for you. They have specific rates for this. They have their specific times. So what you need to contact these warehouses, ask for their quotes. And again, Amit can, if you want to speak to him, they have they send to these warehouses, I believe. They have some connections there, yes. So that's pretty cool, man.
I think another point, sorry, Vova, I think another point which is important to mention here, that sellers, now there was a time that sellers couldn't open a shipping plan, okay? There is still some customer advisors that they cannot open a shipping plan yet, okay? So what we recommended to the customer is shipping to FBM center. And why? Because let's say you cannot open a shipping plan, okay? And your inventory is low, okay? So until you will have the option to open a shipping plan, so it's a good idea to move the cargo directly to United States. At least it will sit now in the States and not in China. And then once you will be able to open the shipping plan, so the goods can be in the FBA center in 2 or 3 days and not take a month or month and a half, depending. So in this case, I think FBM or choosing FBM as an option is critical, okay? Because you don't want, as a seller, you don't want to be behind your competitors.
Yeah, of course, because then we as sellers, we go out of stock and we just wait for FBA to open. We will lose all our positions. We will lose our, of course, money incoming, and we don't
ranking.
Ranking. Exactly, man. Yeah, all the stuff. So it's a good idea, as you mentioned, to send to FBM and just actually start selling from there. Yes, or just if you want to, house your product in the States, when FBA opens, you have like few days to send it over, man. It's crazy good insights. Hopefully people are enjoying the video. If you are watching, give us a like, please, to move the video in the algorithm, so to say, and generally to see that we're kind of providing good info. Yeah, man, these were some of my questions. Do you think you want to add something specifically for this pandemic situation? Because I have some more questions that are a bit interesting, again, about shipments, but not specifically maybe about this crisis. Maybe you have some more inputs about this, maybe something you wanted to share?
Yeah, I can, listen, we can talk a lot about logistics now. I can say that the pandemic definitely affected us as a company. We serve around something like 2,000 customers. So there was a chaos, okay, once the whole issue with the possibility to open shipping plan or shipping plan for essential or for non-essential, when it started in the end of March, so we've been in chaos because we didn't know what's gonna be. Like, are we going to have shipments? Does it going to stop? And so on. And every 2 to 3 to 5 days, there was another regulation by Amazon and another default they gave by Amazon. So I think me as an entrepreneurs, and I think like all Amazon sellers, I went to our accountant and we check our numbers quite fast in order to understand our position. Do we need all our workers here? Can we send some home for a small vacation? So everybody need to adapt, okay? Every business need to adapt now during the pandemic. And the main issue is that nobody knows when it's gonna end. Like, does it gonna end in the end of May or end of June or start of July? Nobody knows when it's gonna happen, and it's very difficult to optimize your business once you have no idea what's going to happen in the future or even in the near future. So I think this is the main difficult now for myself as a business owner, or for other sellers here. But everybody need to, I don't know, to relax, to take pressure down, and to act smart, because eventually it's gonna end it, and we want to be stronger after this pandemic, and our business all the time need to improve. So I think this is a good time to improve whatever necessary now.
Yeah, man, that's a good input. I think it's time of opportunity generally. Like, I know if it's hard, I know it's crazy, as you mentioned, when you got the news, probably you as a company that's serving a few thousand of clients, you were like, oh, wait a minute, how do we handle it? But I guess you breath out and started doing it step by step. And that's what everybody should do, because there is a solution to every kind of problem, or again, whatever's coming at us. And we optimize, and we want to get out of this once it ends, whenever, no one knows, with better, you know, obviously better businesses, more optimized. It's crazy. The world is changing, yes. And it's good to be a part of it. So yeah, man, pretty cool. And I have a few questions that I got from my friend, Mike Principi. He was also on the channel. He's an Amazon FBA seller from Italy. Pretty cool guy. And he asked some interesting questions. Also, I have an interview with Mike. I can link it up here in the card and in the description, where we speak about the mistakes we did with Amazon. There were like 8 mistakes. So for those who would like to watch, you can watch it later on. So first question of Mike was, and it was a really interesting question, Mike, I never really thought about it. He asked me about trains. So he asked me, is there option to send goods from China to Europe by train? Because I know there is, like, you know, there's land there, as far as I know. Yes. So, can you elaborate this?
So there is a train going, I think, rather from Ningbo or from Shanghai, going to the Trans-Siberian Railway, and it's going, and this is, by the way, a great trip for everybody.
Yeah, man,
it can be a great trip for everyone. So
take your garlic press with you, and
exactly.
Okay.
So there is a service going from Shanghai or from Ningbo to, usually going to Germany and the UK. The transit time by train is around 3 weeks, and then it should release from customs. So it's a good option. It's a good option if you have a sea shipment, okay, and the cargo is not super urgent, okay, because in rain, you know, and in Siberia, there is a lot of, you know, the weather is not really stable, and so there is some delays with the train and so on, but the rate will be definitely lower than sending by sea, or for sure sending by air. So it's a good option. Again, depend on your needs, depend on the transit time, depend on your volume and so on, but it's an option, yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. I think that was, I never thought about it, like, you know, because when I started, you know, selling on Amazon, you know, you have sea shipment and air shipment, you know, you neglect that there is trains, cars, you know, donkeys, all the stuff.
So like, I think because of the majority sending to, you know, to US or Canada and so on. So there is not a lot of sellers that ship to Europe, okay, or to UK or to Germany, okay. There is, but there is not. It's not the majority, okay? So if you're talking about the majority shipping to the United States, so they're only familiar with air and sea shipment and so on. But yeah, there is a service going by train, yeah, for sure.
Interesting. It's interesting for me to know that it's actually cheaper than the sea. Like, I thought it would be the same, but it sounds like it's cheaper, the train option. Cool, man. Thank you for sharing this insight. So another question Mike asked was like, He asked about goods on pallets. So essentially his question was, so to say, goods are put on pallets. How does this work? What is this meaning? What is pallets like? Maybe you can give some information on this.
Yeah, sure. So I got a lot of questions on this from customer, okay, that they advise me they want to ship the cargo on pallets, or their shipper or supplier advise them they want to put the goods on pallets. But in general, I said big no-no. And why? Because eventually the supplier will take around $30 to $35 per pallet, okay, just for the pallet. And eventually almost 99% of the goods which are not as FCL is the full container, okay, which going by consolidation, meaning less than truckload, okay, LCL is going. So all this cargo usually consolidate in container as loose cartons, okay, meaning you have around 900 cartons putting in 40 high cube. 40 high cube is the size of the container, okay. And if this is going to Amazon, okay, if it's going to the main Amazon center, let's talk about ONT8 in California, LAX9 in California, FTW1 in Dallas, AD8 in New Jersey area, and so on. So these containers going from port, it released in port in the States and going directly to Amazon, okay, as a loose cartons. But if you need to move the cargo, let's say to CLT2, MEM1 in Memphis, and we can give a lot of other facility.
The smaller ones.
Yes, the smaller one, exactly. So what we are doing, we are bringing the goods into our warehouse, rather in Los Angeles or in New York. Then we break down the container and put on pallets and send the goods to FBA directly to pallets. So if I'm putting myself now as the seller, okay, as an Amazon seller, there is no need to put the goods on pallets because the volume, okay, will increase and the weight increase. So eventually you're gonna pay more. So if I can recommend somebody, ship the goods as loose cartons, as long as it's not fragile or any special cargo need special care. Otherwise ship as loose cartons.
I understand, man. And Amit, I have a question. So for example, a customer comes to you, yes, and he has some specific sort of product. And can you recommend him some things as a freight forwarder? Like, for example, you're going to say, you have this kind of product that's fragile, so I recommend you this and that. That's how it works. You can also give recommendation of it. So as if the seller is a new seller, he's like, I'm going to sell like, like light bulbs or something, or something fragile. Can you as a freight forwarder recommend him as well things? Yes?
Yeah, listen, we are trying to be active with our customer, and we're trying to support with customer service that will provide you guidance like all the way, okay? So this is priority as a business owner into our clients. In regard to your question, we're giving a lot of insights. Sometimes I don't have recommendations, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Of course, if it's fragile products, okay, like wine glass and so on, so you need to discuss a lot with your supplier about how to pack the goods.
Like it,
okay?
Yeah.
I can give you some insight. You know, we discussed earlier about Sea Express to United States, okay?
Yeah.
So Sea Express is going by FedEx or UPS ground. Once cargo released in the States, okay, it hand over to UPS or FedEx ground, okay? UPS or FedEx ground, they have mandatory, okay,
yes.
mandatory of 10 kilogram per kilo volume weight or physical weight. So if, for instance, your carton weight 6 kilogram, okay, your carton weight 6 kilogram, and you want to ship by Sea Express, so you will pay dead freight, okay, we're calling this dead freight, okay, of 4 kilogram up until 10, okay? So if you have, let's say, 50 cartons of 5 kilogram, okay, so physical weight is 250 kilo, but you will pay 500 kilo. So sometimes we trying to give recommendation to our customer how to maybe to ship the goods in different size box or bigger size box, depend on the needs, depend on the shipping method, and so on.
For the last part, let me see if I understood you right. You mean that's the volume weight versus normal weight? Why was there the 2 times more? I think I didn't understand why the price there was volume weight.
I will try to explain again. There is a
Yeah,
volume weight and there is a volume weight and a physical weight. Okay,
Yes.
doesn't matter now how we calculate each one. Physical weight
Yes.
is quite obvious. Okay, you say to me, Amit, I have 50 cartons. Each carton weight 5 kilogram. Okay,
Yes.
or 7 kilogram. Okay, but for this example, let's say 5 kilogram. Okay, so you say to me, Amit, I want to ship the cargo by Sea Express. Okay. Sea Express is going from China to US, okay, by a carrier, and then it hand over to UPS or FedEx ground, okay, which doing the final delivery to FBA center, okay. FedEx and UPS ground, their mandatory is that each carton weight 10 kilogram minimum, okay. So if your carton weight 5 kilogram, so you have the gap, okay,
difference,
of 5 kilogram until 10 kilograms. So you will pay, instead of for 250 kilogram, you will pay for 500 kilogram. So there is a huge gap and huge difference in the final volume weight, okay. And eventually, if you will ask your supplier to pack, let's say you have 2 units in one carton, so you would ask your supplier to pack it 4 units in one carton. And instead of 5 kilograms, it will be 10 kilograms. So instead of 50 cartons, you will have 25 cartons.
25, yes.
And then your physical weight will be 250 and not 500. Did you understand it?
I understood now, yes, because there was the gap. That's what I essentially, let me kind of wrap it up. Explain. There is when the ground services in the United States, they count as per at least $10. Oh, I'm sorry, not 10 kilo. Yes, they start from 10 kilo mandatory. So if you ship something with 6 kilo, they need to add the 4 kilo, right?
Exactly.
This
is only with UPS and FedEx ground.
Yes,
yeah?
exactly.
Only. Yeah.
But I guess that once a client comes to you, yes, and he asks how much, yes, that's what we Amazon sellers, because, you know, you're a freight forwarder, I'm an Amazon seller, you know, I do the listings, I do all the balagan on
right.
You know, we want to know how much, yes, and then we say how much, you say X, and we say why X, and then you explain to us because this and this, and that's, I guess, the client comes to you and you do the
right. There is a lot. Listen, Vova, there is a lot of things can be optimized in regard to shipping. Okay.
Definitely, man.
Definitely new sellers, and even. מתקדם, ברח לי המילה באנגלית, מתקדמים?
מתקדם means like experienced sellers, kind of, advanced sellers.
Even advanced or experienced sellers, if we just discussed now regarding logistics, most of the sellers have almost zero knowledge and zero idea about logistics specific, because you as a sellers have millions of issues to handle, and logistics usually you give rather to the freight forwarder or your supplier to handle it in your behalf. But again, there is a lot of things can be done in regarding logistics and optimize the cost and optimize the service and so on. So it's better to check with your freight forwarders what can be done in each shipment.
I see, man. Yeah, thank you. Very good insights, man. Very deep. I think for those who are watching, I guess, hopefully also getting some new ideas for their shipments and their logistics. And yeah, man, aside from this, I have kind of the last question here by Mike. He asked about the trends. I mean, like, what will change? What might change in the logistics world with this situation, or the future of logistics? Generally, maybe what do you think about this?
Yeah, great one. So this is a topic we can cover for a long time, but I think, logistics, eventually it's business. Like, what do I mean by that? It's a man-to-man business. Like, usually you will not give me freight to handle in your behalf unless, and I'm talking about big volume, okay? Unless we know each other, okay?
Yeah.
I think now, because we cannot meet anyone, okay? Everybody's on quarantine and so on. So first of all, there is a lot of Zoom conversation and so on. And second, what is going to happen, at least in my belief, everything will be automate, meaning you will ask for a quotation, you will want feedback on the spot, okay? Everything will be on the spot. the logistics will move from, it's very, very old-fashioned industry, okay? So I think all the industry will start to understand that now we're in 2020, and there are going to be a lot of changes specific in automatic quotes, automated information sending to the customer, and so on, because a lot of freight forwarding company still living in the stone area, stone age. So
Stone Age, yeah, man.
Stone Age. So this will definitely going to change. If you're talking about the shipping to Amazon, it's a great question. I don't know.
I see, man. I see. It's we're gonna live and see, yes, because definitely, I mean, that's the only way to go, yes. But
definitely.
We're just gonna go with the flow and see how it changes. But yeah, I see. I like the part of the automation, man.
Maybe B2C will go a little bit more. You know, sellers will maybe put some cargo in China. I know sellers do not like this, okay, and do FBA directly from China. Things will change, but for sure, I don't think not just for the logistics industry, but every industry will change because of the pandemic, because I think it's a historical era.
Historical moment, like occurrence, something.
Yeah, historical occurrence, which definitely everybody will study this, in high school from now on. So there is no way such thing will not have infected almost in everything we're doing in the normal life.
Yeah, man, I see. Interesting, man. Thank you for the insights with the, with all the questions. Thank you for everything. Thank you for answering everything very step by step and in details, man. And I have a question for you, a bit on the, on the side of, on the entrepreneurial side kind of thing. So like you have a big company, right? You have things that going on, like you have a family, you have kids. Yes, you you have a lot of stuff going on. And I wanted to ask you, like, how do you manage this? What kind of tip can you give us as entrepreneurs to go through this, to kind of yeah, man, you know what I mean? Like, how can we survive this? What tips can you give us as entrepreneurs to be, to very good.
I think first of all, I think you should marry to the right lady or to the right man, because without my wife, in these days when we stay in quarantine and need to take care on our children and so on, so you need a good partner to have in order to handle everything, okay? Otherwise, I will definitely collapse, okay? And in regard to business in general, I think every entrepreneurs have the same issues, okay? You started with a vision for a company, and in order to grow the business, so you need to bring sales, okay? Once you bring a lot of sales, and the company establish, okay, and you recruit employees and everything, so everybody find their ceiling, okay? So you need to find a way to break the glass ceiling, okay? And this for me personally, and what I mean by that is usually by turnover, okay? You have a monthly turnover, I don't know, $200,000, you want to increase to $500,000, okay? So I think this is the main issue. Most of the entrepreneurs find difficulties. How can I break the ceiling glass? I think you should prepare a plan, okay? And try to go step by step and cover another success and another success. And only by that you will be able to break the ceiling glass. For me, I found it very, very difficult a year ago or a year and a half ago. How can I break the ceiling glass? How can I increase my sales dramatically? Multiply it by 2, by 3, and so on. So we made a lot of changes inside our companies. We start to be much more organized. We put software, okay, handling some software which can assist us in handling the business inside. And only by that, I've been able to increase my sales and increase my business. And I think for every entrepreneurs, especially Amazon sellers, the beginners finding difficulties, okay, I ship one, I had a success. Now I need to bring another inventory, Should I do another branch? Should I open another branch? Should I bring another cargo and so on? So this is something I think related to every entrepreneurs. And what can I say? Listen, it's a try not to be alone and try to find good partners to go with you along the way. Build systems and try to reach for a small success all the time. This is my insight just for how to do it.
Thanks, man. That's pretty awesome. And I liked it that you started with a partner. I mean, of course, yes, I guess, because I would say that might be partners, you know, a spouse, yes, or a business partner. You need to find, anyway, strong surroundings. You need to be connected, as you mentioned in the end of your words. You mentioned that you need to be connected. And it's a good time to start connecting during the pandemic, I think. You're at home, you're sitting. I mean, it's fine to chill out, to, you know, just to relax. But think how you can, you know, obviously market yourself more also as a company or as an individual, yes. But, and obviously as mentioned, plans, and break your glass ceiling. See where you want to reach also. As I understand, you know, you're doing 200K so monthly for a few months, but you want more. Put a plan, understand, systemize it eventually, yes, on how you do it. Do a small steps. For example, how can I reach 225, then 250? What will I do when I reach 275?
I found Vova that if you, let's say, just for the example, you say your monthly sales or turnover is, let's say, $50,000, okay, and you want to reach to, and your dream is to reach to $3,000, okay. If you will not going to 100 and then to 150 and 200, you will never be able to reach $300,000. So there is no way to put yourself big weights on your shoulders, okay? Try to go step by step, and by that you will be successful.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for motivating. Thank you for giving us practical information, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully the guys watching are, you know, they're enjoying. And man, how can people contact you? How can they contact you, Rosenthal Logistics? How, what?
Yeah. So we have our email, my telephone number. I'm sure you will put everything in the description below.
Yes.
Everybody can contact us via our email, via our website, via my personal telephone number. No problem. Please be guest. Be part of Rosenthal family. It's important.
Yes, man, that's awesome. And I have a little thing. Maybe you won't like to, for those who might want to come to Rosenthal family and maybe use your services that are coming through here, through this channel, hopefully through my groups, I can provide to my people some sort of maybe a benefit with your company. Do you have, if you may, maybe some idea you have for our, you know,
viewers? we can definitely make a voucher for some discount and the first shipment. Yeah, we can do it for sure.
Okay, man. So I'll link it in the description, whatever it comes up to your idea. I'll link it down there for those who are interested. I'll put it near the links to the Amit's website. And yeah, it's going to be something good for you, the watcher, the viewer. I care about you. And yeah. And yeah, Amit, man, thank you for sharing your time with us, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully you will come
be a pleasure, my friend. Yeah, and don't forget to put mask.
Man, where's my mask? I have a fake mask, man. I have a fake mask.
Don't forget, stay home and be safe, huh?
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming, and hopefully see you soon again here. Yes.
Thank you. Cheers, my friend. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.